Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Well, some fun facts this evening. It's the Good Morning Portugal Portuguese wine culture quiz tonight. A little bit different. Ordinarily, Ben Austin and I would be doing the Find Your Home in Portugal show, but things are going to go a bit wonky at this time of the year in Portugal. It's Christmas. It's a public holiday also as well today. So we're taking it easy. We're taking not just a look at wine in Portugal, which we're obviously trying some as well. We've both got a bottle to tell you about, as well as 20 questions on Portuguese wine culture. So let's bring Ben on to the screen as well. Olá, boa noite. Tudo bem, Ben? Tudo bem, Austin?
Boa noite, Carl. I'm all good over here. How are you?
Yeah, very well. How's your day been? It's been the day of the Immaculate Conception, the two Monday public bank holidays, not bank, but two Monday public holidays in a row. And we're getting near Christmas, general strike on Thursday. Things are getting a bit strange here, aren't they?
They are. All of our schedules seem to have been thrown off.
Yeah.
So I've been
a peaceful day?
Personally. Sorry, yeah, I've just been kicking back, enjoying a bit of Portuguese wine, reviewing a bit for the quiz as well. So fingers crossed I'll get a few answers right.
Good. I think you will. It's not difficult. It's difficult to pitch it, actually. I wrote this quiz for the wine tasting that we had in San Martino de Porto on Saturday night. Thank you to Sergio of Red Notes in San Martino. Thank you to Pedro. Primero Soluso, the first hiccup bar with its own laundromat, pool table, dartboard, full bar, burgers. It's just a great place, and hosted us with a wine tasting and a karaoke and this wine quiz. So we tried it out on Saturday night. And for people who know very little about Portugal and Portuguese wine, it's actually quite difficult. But I think for somebody like you, Ben, and other veterans of the Portuguese wine and booze scene, they might breeze it. Maybe some surprises. And added bonus, I've got a kitten in the studio as well. So what could
we'll be making an on-camera appearance soon.
I expect so. Yeah, if I say please don't come onto the camera, that's exactly what a cat would do, right? So don't you dare come near the camera, cat. Let's see, he'll be sprinting across the keyboard.
Not in that convenient space I've left right over my left shoulder.
Among all the cups and bits. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see what happens with the kitten. Hola, amigos. That's Michael and Kat there, isn't it? I didn't recognise that YouTube handle there, so good to see you both. And I think, you'll breeze through this, the Whitbys. Looking forward to seeing you at the weekend. And there's talk of Frank being in the building as well. That'll be amazing if that happens. What lovely news that is. But I'll believe it when I see it. Right. Yes, it is. Right. So the comments are on the screen now, as you can see, ready for people to guess. Where would you place yourself? You've called yourself a professional wine enjoyer. How knowledgeable do you think you are, Ben, with the Portuguese wine and wine culture here?
It's a good question. It's a dangerous question to answer as well, because if I go too far, I'll end up looking like an idiot. And if I don't say enough...
you look like you weren't trying, maybe. Yeah.
A realistic assessment, I'd say I'm pretty familiar. I can pick out a decent wine to accompany with dinners. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 7.
Okay, very good. Let's see how that goes tonight. Let's give people a chance to show up and say hi. It's nice to note that we've got a few viewers on X, and that's where we'll meet people we generally don't meet. We've got friends, I suspect, on YouTube. So if you're watching on X, do let us know. I think a lot of watching on X is bots and just strange entities.
People moderating our content.
It's really weird, X. I'm still quite addicted is too strong a word to use, but quite attached. And, I tend to check into X every day, but it's a filthy old place, terrible place, really. But one portal or porthole or one of those arrow slots looking out into the world to see what's going on the horizon. So, if you're watching on X and you want to say hi, that would be great. LinkedIn as well, YouTube, and a couple of Facebook destinations tonight. So do please say hello. Pete's here. I think Pete will know a few of these as well. Boa noite, bebedores de vinho. Very good. And como está audiencia do OnlyFans esta semana? Is he talking to you or me in our OnlyFans communities, I wonder?
I don't know. Maybe he's asking if we did a collab of some sort, or I don't know what he's getting at with this comment.
Well, clearly we haven't retired from the proceeds yet. Maybe
I
a
need
little
something
bit
to
more,
fund my drinking habit.
yes, yes, you do. How's it going with the real estate? Because this is our usual. You'll find your home in Portugal slot on a Monday evening. How's it all going? How have you? How has it been for you in this first year, basically, or part year of being in the business?
I think it would have been that it makes a year in about March or April.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
would have been my first year in real estate. So far, so good. I got my first listing a few days ago as well.
Oh, good man.
And fingers crossed I've managed to come on the show and talk about that in a bit. I want to get a video done first. I want to get the property all looking spick and span. Not saying that it isn't already. I just want to get it to a
Oh,
point where I
sure.
can present it
Yeah,
as
yeah. Well,
well. I was
in
at
a state
the
you're happy with. Yeah.
I appeared on the morning show recently as well from the train on the way to the 2030 conference, which was, in all honesty, a bit less about infrastructure and real estate than I would have liked it to be. But nevertheless, I learned a lot during it, and hopefully I'll manage to come on the show, either Find Your Home in Portugal or the Good Morning Portugal show, and talk a bit more in detail about what went on there.
Of course, of course. The two viewers on X apparently are Big Brother and Elon. So fair enough. I mean, there was talk of Elon Musk having a home in Portugal, but that's probably not unusual. He's probably got a home in most countries around the world, I suspect. A few things we could raise a glass to as well. Thanks for that update, Ben. Looking at the Portugal club here. And did you have one of these when you were young? I think this is a wind up, basically. The happy hour play set includes pretend bar stools, and beer bottles. Thank you, Kate, for this. I don't. I mean, it's very likely actually that this could have been a toy in the 70s, complete with fake cigarettes. But the giveaway on the cover there is a kid with a mobile phone, which wasn't happening in the 70s.
Or is that a headset of some sort? I don't know, because it's extending with a bit of a microphone, isn't it?
Possibly there, possibly. I think it is a mobile. He's down the pub, like, quiet, don't let me missus know I'm down the pub. But I think that's a spoof toy. Expect a similar Lego toy as well, making the same sort of joke. Thank you to Kate over at the Portugal Club for that. Raising our glasses to Portugal on this news, The Economist has ranked Portugal and the Portuguese economy #1 among developed countries in 2025, which I have to say came as quite a surprise to me. I mean,
yeah, that's a bit of a shock. I'd like to see what the criteria for that list was, but
yes, well, that's quite a cynical response, Ben. But it makes you wonder, doesn't it, what the criteria are and how it could be that Portugal. I mean, the government are doing a fairly good job, arguably, and we could be in a lot worse situation, and this might be one of those
100%.
least worst sort of surveys. But it is a surprise, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, I find it surprising. For some reason, the link as well, doce com pastel de nata. So I'm wondering if the metric they use is pastel de nata per capita or something like that.
Well, we're going to win that hands down, aren't we, every single time? So,
of course.
Yeah.
Walk in the park.
Yes, okay. It's sweet like a pastel de nata. That's the comparison to the economy at the moment. So that's going to be a great bonus for a fillip, I think the word is, isn't it, for the current government, the leadership of the country. So we will come back to that. Good. Is it is our Portugal lifestyle iOS app person here? Good to see you as well. I'm drinking wine, but I'm Portuguese, so it's just another Monday. And we would love to know if you fancy jumping on the screen to tell us about your Portugal lifestyle app. This is a really, from what I can tell, and I think the news came through from Veronica about this and about what you're doing, a Portuguese lifestyle app only available for iOS users at the moment, but hoping for Android soon for us. But what a great idea. Immersion, education into Portuguese culture, the sort of thing we like to do from a proper Portuguese person there. So do let us know more, or send me a link so that I can pop that up onto the screen, if you will. Ben gave us some really useful information the other night. He is very up to date on recent legislation, so nice plaudit for you there. And it's a direct comparison to the US economy. Again, it's hard to tell the tone of these comments if there's some irony and sarcasm there, or if that actually is the case. And, they've taken the worst possible numbers for the US and compared them to the relative stability of Portugal, maybe. Yeah, maybe because there's more cynicism here, maybe because the others are going down. And we're just staying where we are, perhaps, treading water, which makes it look like we're doing well. I really don't know. On that. But anyway, well done, Portugal, on that news. Anything else over here? We've got Kate's funny meme. Antonio F with the Portuguese economy. Don't forget he does a crime file over there. There's an update on the strikes. and his amazing Portuguese sayings of the day, 668 posts now. There are still more Portuguese sayings, I'm sure, to come. And today's, this is good. Well done, everybody. Did you have a stab at this, Ben? Portuguese citizenship test question 70. That was this morning's. Who was the first king of Portugal? I'm guessing you learnt this in school.
Yep, I did not. I did not take a stab at this morning, unfortunately. But yeah, this would be one of the things they taught us around 5th grade.
Right. Okay. And yes, Afonso Henriques, and there's a very nice bottle of wine, the Afonso Henriques bottle. Really, really nice label that is. Yes, the first king of Portugal. Sarah saying, and sorry, I tried to play your video. I'll do it tomorrow, Sarah. It didn't work out this morning. This is the guy who started his career by winning a battle fought against his mother's army. Imagine that, your mum having her own army. Very special family dynamics. Normally it's just a few aunts, isn't it, and some friends from down the pub. But this sounds a little bit more serious than that. And Antonio chipping in, he didn't like his mother's boyfriend. I guess I can relate. Okay, all right. At least said soonest mended, perhaps. Okay, let's go over to the classroom then at the Portugal Club and click on this quiz. This is its second outing after a first go at the wine tasting on Saturday night. Should we just go straight into it? And what I'd love from you, Ben, is your help to make sure that I've got my spellings right, and a bit of adjudication from you. But I'm not expecting you to sort of be the final authority on all of these. And a really easy start on question 1, of course. Here, which fortified wine aged in the caves of Vila Nova de Gaia is Portugal's most famous wine export? Is it A, Port? Is it B, Madeira? Or is it C, Moscatel? Nice little video to accompany this, the train journey of the old guy in Europe to Vila Nova de Gaia, which, of course, is in Porto. So what's your guess on this, mate?
It's got to be A, hasn't it?
Got to be A, Port. Can you read that? Are you able to read out some of the questions?
I can, yeah, I'm on full screen. I should be able to read them, yes.
Yeah, all right. Okay, well, we can perhaps take it in turns on that. No guesses yet. Come on, everybody. Oh, while we're waiting for the first guesses to come in, I'm drinking a Douro Red. If I just give myself full screen for a moment. Thank you very much, Spartan FX, for your very kind Christmas gift here. It is a Douro Red, the 23 harvest, Lot 5, badged up as Spartan FX, but the wine is actually a Douro Lot 5. What about you, Ben?
I love it. I did not bring the bottle into the room with me, but I do have the glass here. The bottle's in the fridge currently. It is Ermelinda's Bocage, the white one.
Very nice. A white fish. So you're still hanging out with the white.
I'm still trying to trick my head into thinking that it's summer.
I do appreciate that sentiment. Absolutely. Okay. Good. Ben's on a white. I'm on a red here. Douro for me. Stubel for Ben there. And let's have a look. Any guesses yet on that? Maybe I need to read it out again. Question 1. Which fortified wine aged in the caves of Vila Nova de Gaia is Portugal's most famous wine export? That's a big clue, isn't it? Port, Madeira or Moscatel. I don't know if you can hear the cat destroying the studio here. The Moscatel, probably the least exported of those. Madeira, known the world over, I think, but not as much as A, which we suspect is the right answer. We'll go through them all as we recap on this. So
I don't know if this is outdated information or not by now, but I remember reading somewhere, and this would have been a few years ago, that the most exported wine in Portugal was Mateus Rosé.
Is it really? Yeah. I mean, they got a really good head start on that, didn't they? And they got pictures of Jimi Hendrix drinking it. It was meant to have been in Queen Elizabeth's cellar. Saddam Hussein liked to drop, apparently. For some reason, or he was gifted it, maybe. And
always good for your branding, isn't it? Saddam Hussein approves.
Yeah, well, I guess they're thinking famous global person. But yes, of course, in the keener days of knowing who the influencers are and how your brand is tied to them, maybe they wouldn't be so keen to attach themselves to Saddam Hussein. But I read that Queen Elizabeth, Jimi Hendrix, and Saddam Hussein with a connection to Mateus Rosé. And I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're right about that. You're drinking white. iOS is great. You just have to wait for Portugal to catch up. Okay, thank you very much, Peter. Perhaps an Apple user. Maybe by the year 3000 they will have a legitimate Apple shop. A legitimate one. Is that right? None of the Apple shops real Apple stores. Well, Gemini Bradshaw's here. And the port tours are well worth doing. It is really interesting to see the roles of both the Bishop of Porto and English tax dodgers played in its location. Oh, Peter. I think Peter's had one or two already, don't you? Okay. Question 2 then. Pergunta duas. Do you say questão or pergunta? Which would you go with?
Pergunta. I'd go pergunta, and I'd go with número dois because you're referring to the number. Like it's number 2, not pergunta 2.
So
if
I
that
need to
makes any
change that,
sense.
don't I?
Número dois.
Yes. Okay, so that's great. Lots of education here tonight. So Pergunta dois. There. What is the name of the UNESCO World Heritage Wine Region famous for its terraced vineyards along a northern river? I haven't even had a drop yet, and I'm slurring. Is it A, the Tagus Valley? Is it B, the Mondego Valley? Or C, the Douro Valley? Can you place these for us around the country, Ben?
So Tagus Valley would be down towards Lisbon, Mondego Valley being closer to Coimbra, and Douro Valley being closer to Porto.
What brilliant collaboration.
So anyone with a kind of geographic knowledge of the cities in Portugal will manage to figure out this question pretty quickly.
Yeah, northern's the giveaway there, isn't it? But we will come back and reconfirm this. Question 3, Pergunta 3. Am I okay on there? Do you want to read this one?
Pergunta 3. Portugal is one of the few countries where majority of its famous wines are made with indigenous (native) grape varieties rather than international ones. True or false?
What do you reckon, mate?
I reckon it's true personally, because you read the back of any Portuguese wine, it's always got Touriga Franca, Touriga Nacional, Aragonês as well.
Yeah. Oh, that comes up a bit later on.
Okay,
yeah,
have I spoiled something?
No, not at all. No, there's no spoiling it here tonight. Really, it's just a bit of fun. And with I've got a nice AI overview here. Portugal boasts a remarkable diversity of native grapes, with estimates placing the number at over 250 indigenous varieties, with a similar source mentioning 300. So with that many native grape varieties, you're not going to be desperate, are you, to use foreign varieties to lead with your wine blends? So I'm going to go for true on that as well. Brilliantly patriotic Portugal and its wine varieties. Okay, Pergunta 4. Which wine region in northwest Portugal is known for its light, slightly sparkly? I wanted to read that as salty, but that's a later question as well. Slightly sparkly white wines. Is it Vinho Frisante? Is it Vinho Verde? Is it Vinho Espumante? They could all qualify in a way, couldn't they? These are all wine. These are all acceptable terms, aren't they?
I'd say Espumante is a bit of an umbrella term when it comes to Portuguese wine, where you could put, like for instance, Vinho Verde, which is one of the answers to this question, under Espumante. I could be wrong with that, because thinking of like Bairrada, for instance, who are very traditional about their Espumante and very traditional about in-bottle fermentation and all that sort.
Yeah. Well, this is why you're here with this lovely extra information. Love it. Bingo Verde. It's perhaps the effect this has on Michael or Catherine when they drink it. Bingo! Don't like the sparkling white wine. I can't believe that, Gemini. I absolutely love it. It's been an education for me, the sparkling white here. And do you mean the Espumante? Do you mean the Vinho Verde? Or do you mean the Frisante? Because Frisante is that like unnaturally gassed wine with an added CO2?
I think it's been carbonated, yeah.
Yeah, carbonated. Okay. All right, so we'll come back to that one as well. Michael and Catherine, did you vote on that already? Right, question 5. What is... Oh, go on, Ben, you do this one.
Okay, what is arguably Portugal's most planted and used grape variety? Oh, that is a really good question here.
I've put arguably in brackets because there could be a little bit of contention about that, could there not? But I think yeah.
If I had to put money on it, I'd say A, personally.
You wouldn't be going for the Bastardo, which has to be put in, does it not, as one of the most hilariously named Portuguese grapes?
100%.
We're not
seeing a great name.
We're not seeing that too often, though, are we? Top notes of Bastardo on this.
It's a very bastardized wine.
I'm leaning towards the Touriga Nacional on this. Pergunta 6. Name the Alentejo red grape known as Tempranillo in neighbouring Spain, and of course we'll have this again as well. The Spanish name and the Portuguese name. So Tempranillo in Spain, is it called Tempatantrum in Portugal? Amarillo, as in is this the way to, or Aragonês? Which would you go with there, Ben?
I was about to say I thought Amarillo was a place in California.
Yes.
But
we can rule it out though. I think.
Oh, really? You'd say rule it out? Because I was going through. I've reading the label of Portuguese wines. I find Aragonês is a quite common grape variety here, and they do refer to it as Aragonês in Portuguese. So seeing as what is Tempranillo known in Spain, I would go ahead and say Amarillo. I hope I'm saying that right.
Would
I
you?
know
Is
that
that the
some.
way? Is that the way? I wonder.
I know that some Spanish person has died in their chair listening to my pronunciation of that.
Yeah, but they're so dramatic, aren't
Temperatension-
they? They're so dramatic. That would be so typical. All right, okay. Over to you for question 7.
Question 7. What is the name of the foot treading method still used in some Douro quintas to crush grapes for port? Is it A, pesumatica, B, com queijo, or C, lagares?
See what I did there? So, Pejomatica. And we had a bit of fun with this because somebody shouted out in the bar on Saturday night, I used to do that with my parents. We used to tread grapes. And I said, yeah, Ricardo, if you check, if he takes his shoes and socks off, he's still got red feet. And apparently, there was I was told this by a Portuguese lad who grew up in France, that the Algerian workers who came to France to tread grapes with their feet did have red feet. They were called the red feet, Algerian foot leading grape crushing Algerians were called red feet. And I suspect a few Portuguese people had red feet until Christmas time after the harvest. So, yeah, is it pejomatica, like footomatic? Is it con queijo with cheese or lagares? What would you reckon on that?
I'm going to be honest, I've got no clue.
Oh, really? Okay.
I haven't heard any of these before, but going through process of elimination, a lagard is usually where you get your olive oil from. Although that itself does involve a system of crushing. So it could be. With cheese, I just find funny, quite frankly, something to encourage a bit of fermentation there.
Yes.
And pejomatica, the footomatic, again, is a bit... I'm
Kate
not sure which one to go.
Footomatic. Yeah.
Not sure which one to go for there, but again, if I had to put money on it, I'd probably go with C, just because lagares already has that crushing connotation.
Very wise. Okay, question 8. Which aromatic white grape is the star of the aforementioned Vinho Verde and also widely grown in Spain under the name Albarino? Is it Martino, as in, is it Martino, sorry, not with the H. Is it Martino A, is it B, Alvarinho, or is it C, São Martinho? Written especially for the quiz on Saturday night. I think you know the answer to this one, right?
Yeah, it's got. Come on, which one is it?
Yeah. I think
the one. It's not the one that sounds exactly like the Spanish version. No,
but
could never be.
It's a very good clue. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have to change it slightly, of course. Yeah, okay. Leaning towards Alvarinho there. This is an interesting one and something that we could perhaps copy along the Atlantic coast. San Martino, Celero de Porto, which tiny region on the Lisbon Peninsula produces the light. These are salty white wines grown in sand dunes. Is it A, Claros? Is it B, Comporta? Or is it C, Arabida? Which do you know? Have you heard of this? Of these vines grown in sand dunes?
I actually I haven't. No, but again, just this is a completely wild guess, and just going off gut feeling, I would have gone C.
Okay,
because I don't know what it is. Sand, areia, Arabida. It's remotely similar. It's kind of in the same ballpark of words.
Yes, and where a scene of On Her Majesty's Secret Service was filmed as well. I think the Diana Rigg car scene, is that Lazenby or is that Canary? In that, I wonder. Okay, is that question 9 there? Oh, this is getting a bit difficult here. So question 9. The salty sand dune wine, is it Claros, is it Comporto, is it Arabida? We'll come back to that. Pergunta 10. All true port wine must come from the Douro Valley and be fortified with grape spirit, as in aguardente. Is that true or false, Ben?
I think so far it's true, but I believe that some put sugar in there as well. So I don't know if we have to mention sugar to make it true as well. It's one of those sort of catch-22 scenarios.
Yeah, okay. You'd think, wouldn't you, if added sugar is accelerating the process and is a little bit coarse, perhaps. But I don't know. I don't know enough about it. That's the sort of thing Michael might know a thing or two about. Over to you. Will you do the honours on ons for us?
Okay. What does LBV stand for on bottle of port? Is it A, Lagares bottled vinho, B, late bottled vintage, or C, last bottled vinho?
The last bottle of vino there. What do you think?
A tragic situation.
Horrible, yes.
Yes.
The nightmare, the pesadillo of any for any drinker in Portugal. Okay, so Lagares bottled vino, late bottle vintage, or last bottle of vino there. Question 12, Pergunta dos. What is the Portuguese word for a wine cooperative? Common, especially in the Down and Vinho Verde regions. Is it an adega cooperativa, an herdade cooperativa, or C, a quinta cooperativa? You hear all of those descriptions, don't you, as places where wine is grown. What do you think is the right answer?
I'd say adega personally.
Yeah, I think you're headed in the right direction there. Right, a special one here. We will ask our audience on question 13, Pergunta 3, which one of these is not a famous British wine merchant who has cellars in Vila Nova de Gaia? With B, I'm going to spell it out for you and ask you to say it at home. So is it A, Taylor's, or is it B, Cockburns? How do you say that? It's particularly difficult, I think, for Americans. Or Monty Python's? Is that the answer there? Which one of them is not a British wine merchant with cellars in Vila Nova de Gaia? Taylor's, Cockburns, of course, right? Ben, you knew that, didn't you?
Sorry, what was that?
Cockburns.
Cockburns, yeah.
Yes. You knew that, though, right?
Some people call it Cockburns.
No, that some people would just read it literally as Cockburns.
Is that the correct way of saying it? Because that's how I would have said it.
You would have said Cockburns.
I would have said Cockburns, yeah. So
Cockburns is, I think people with embarrassing names come up with. It's one of the great jokes my stepfather told me. Sidebottom and Balls had a factory together, Mr. Sidebottom and Mr. Balls, and they became very rich and estranged. And one day, Mr. Balls went to visit the now famous and very wealthy Mr. Sidebottom, and knocked on the door of the office and said, "Could I see Mr. Sidebottom, please?" And the pitbull receptionist, gatekeeper of Mr. Sidebottom's empire said, "I think you mean Mr. Sidi Batum, if I'm correct." And he said, "Oh, okay, yes. May I say who's here? Yes, could you tell him Mr. Testicales is here to see him?" And I think it's the same sort of thing. Look, Cockburns, there you go. Which is it not? Let's go back to that. It would be Monty Python's. Wouldn't that be great? A Monty Python port?
Oh, that would be so good.
I think there's a sherry sketch, isn't there? Not a port sketch necessarily, but although I expect the Pythons drank properly decanted port, as the posh boys, most of them were. So they would know the answer to this next question as well. Take it away, Ben, if you will.
Which style of port is aged for decades in a wooden cask and ready to drink when bottled? No decanting needed. Is it A, white, B, ruby, or C, tawny?
What do you think?
I would go ahead and say white, personally, because generally speaking, it's less common to decant white wine.
Okay, very good, very good. And this is something to do with the aging process as well. And I am so glad, I've got to tell you, I checked which mic I was using. My mic quality may have changed. I just checked because I wanted to scream at my dog who's scratching up the sofa. I'm going to do that now and hope you can't hear me.
Nope, still can't hear him. Ah, that's unfortunate.
That's good. Right, good. Because I tore quite the strip off him there. Calm down, lad. We're trying to do a live stream here. Right. What is he doing over there? My God. Right. Okay. Yes. Tawny is Michael's guess here. Don't worry. If you're seeing this later and you're doing all these answers, tune in on the morning show and let us know how you get on as well. Or just leave a message at the Portugal Club. This quiz is available in the classroom at the Portugal Club. Let's move on from, is it A, white, is it B, ruby, or C, tawny? On the style of port that is aged for decades in wooden casks and is ready to drink when bottled, no decanting needed. Let's go to question 15 then. In which southern Portuguese region would you find the sweet fortified wine called Moscatel? What you're drinking is a little bit of a clue here, isn't it? And I'm pretty sure you know the answer to this.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. So is it Alentejo? Is it Setúbal or is it Algarve? And the Portuguese people in the bar on Saturday seemed pretty certain that the correct pronunciation of Setúbal was Stubal. They went with Stubal. Yeah. Is that what you say? Generally speaking?
I would say Stubal.
Is that like the street pronunciation or the posh or the local pronunciation? What's the deal with that?
That's a good question because my accent's a bit of a mix of both. I'd say it's become a bit more over the past few years. It's become a bit more street, if I can say that. It feels weird saying it like that, but it's become less academic from not being in college as often anymore.
So there is a definite thing, is there? There is a sort of posh Portuguese, and there is a street Portuguese sort of geezer in it, sort of type of Portuguese.
I'd say so. I'd say it's less accent oriented than we have in the UK, and
Or
say
the choice of words.
Yeah, it's more the choice of words and the linguistics.
Okay. What's the equivalent of blad then? All right, blad. What would that be in Portuguese?
Sócio is
Really?
it's quite a common one now, which is associate as a direct translation.
Really? So you say tudo bem, sócio?
Yeah. Olha, fui ver o sócio.
Which is like if you hear someone say that, they're actually saying, right, blood. Okay. Retinol, I think, is possibly a autocorrect for Setúbal, which, understandably is not in every mobile phone keyboard dictionary right there. Okay, very good. That was question 15. Question 16. And I had to check. 16. Have I spelt that correctly?
16. 16. Yes, to my knowledge.
It is bizarre, isn't it, that word?
It's a weird one.
Take. Yeah, it's a double take. And again, going back to your schooling, what did you learn about the Marquês de Pombal?
Oh God, where do we begin? I know the big thing they teach us in school is, of course, the reconstruction of Lisbon after the earthquake. That is the major thing that's pushed. I'm not sure what else I can add to that, really. That's kind of going back to my school days and going back to history class and being incredibly bored.
Yeah, sorry to take you back there. Do you know where he was from? Which Portuguese city?
Well, one would assume Pombal.
No, he was a Vezio lad.
Oh,
and
really?
Pombal was a title thrust upon him. Yeah, for his good work. And I think the interesting thing about the earthquake, sort of sociologically, it was that it released the stranglehold of the church, didn't it? And religiosity, and over-religiosity, perhaps, at the time. And people thought it was a punishment from God and so on. And I think there was a kind of enlightenment wave of people coming along and saying, no, nonsense. This happens. Let's not be so superstitious. There is a greater rationality and logic available to humanity. And I think Lisbon was rebuilt in that spirit, really. And the Marquês de Pombal was one of those characters. Not as necessarily very popular, as I guess if you get stuff done like that, you're not going to be very popular with everybody, are you?
Anyone in a high-ranking position is going to have people that oppose them and people that disagree, aren't they?
The Keir Starmer of his day, you might say.
Oh dear. That bad, hey?
I don't think he was hated quite that much. Then Villarreal just, yes, of course, he rebuilt or redesigned VRSA as well, didn't he? Very, very well known and perhaps appreciated or acknowledged, certainly, in VRSA as well. Incredible when you scratch the surface of Portuguese history. Thanks for that, Michael. Much appreciated. There's a set. The question 17 here. Do you know this? Name the tradition. Oh, a bit more slang here, Ben, that you might be able to help us out with. Name the traditional black clay pitchers historically used in Portuguese taverns to serve young red wines, especially in the Down and Alentejo. Is it A, amphora, B, pinguça, or C, cantarinha? What's your guess there? And what else? Where else have we heard the word pinguça?
Again, I don't know for sure which one it is. Going out on a guess, I'm going to say pinguça because it's kind of a slang term, as it were, for alcohol. Pinga.
Yes. Yeah, and if you call somebody a pinguça or a pinguça, it means they're a drunkard, I think, doesn't it?
Oh, does it?
Yeah, apparently. I think it might be more of a Brazilian thing. But that is a very good clue. And there are actually two acceptable answers there. And one, a bit of a red herring as well. So we'll come back to that as we run through these to recap. Question 18. What is the name of the traditional flat-bottom boat once used to transport pork barrels down the Douro River to the cellars? Is it the Barco Rebelo? Is it the Rebelo de Sousa? Or is it the Barco dos? What would you say there?
Ooh, again, I haven't got the foggiest with this one.
But if it's a boat, man, come on.
What if it's a boat? Come on, but it's got to be one of the barcos then.
Yes.
Okay,
not
it's going out.
not the current president.
Not the current presidents.
Kind of, because it's not quite spelled quite right.
Yeah, so it must be barcos then.
Barcados. It could be Barcados, couldn't it? But let's find out a little bit later on. 2 questions to go then. Go ahead, if you will, with these last 2. Sorry, I've been hogging them, as usual.
Okay. In what year was Vinho Verde region officially demarked? Was it 1808, 1908, or 2008?
What would you go with there?
Ooh, so I know that one of the neighbouring regions, the Douro, is one of the first denominated areas in the country. So I imagine it would have been, well, not in the country, but internationally as well. I imagine it would be pretty early, not as early as 1808, though, because if I remember correctly, and that is a big if, the Douro region was sort of after 1850 or sort of 1840s, in kind of that region. So I'm going to go ahead and say 1908.
That's a very, very educated guess. And the funny thing is, when I got distracted...
the funny thing is it's completely wrong.
No, that's a very good guess. And what I realise now, I started chatting about the Marcos de Pombal and forgot to ask the question, which you alluded to here very wisely. In 1756, this was the Marcos de Pombal question. In 1756, MDP, as we will from here on in refer to him, created the world's first officially demarcated wine region, the DOC. Which region was it? So not only was he responsible for rebuilding Lisbon and VRSA, he also created the world's first, so not only Portugal's, but the world's first DOC. He was clearly quite the thinker, wasn't he? And quite the creator of ideas and an imposer of ideas. Which region was it in 1756? What would you go for here? Because again, you could be forgiven for thinking it was C. Lisboa, which, of course, he led the rebuilding of post-earthquake. Alentejo, possibly, although I did say he was from Viseu. Or is it Douro for port wine?
I think I've already kind of alluded to the answer.
Yeah.
But just to make it clear, I would have gone for the Douro.
Yep. Okay.
And I was about 100 years off with that date guess as well.
It wasn't bad though. It was an ancient. It was a suggestion of the old days for sure, wasn't it? Right. Okay. Jimmy's coming to see us now. Having destroyed the sofa and everything on it. Last question then. Yes. He is the original varietal, aka the bastardo. Go on then, Ben. Take it away for the last question, if you will.
Okay, what is a DOC in Portugal? Is it A, Deus obrigatório copo, B, dá-me outro copo, or C, denominação de origem controlada?
What do you think?
It's got to be C.
If I can have a go at translating the A and B, God, thank you for this cup. That's not a bad thing to be saying, is it? Whilst we're drinking,
not bad at all, no.
But it might not be what DOC stands for. And dama outro copo, give me another drink. That's also quite a good thing to shout out in a bar, isn't it? But probably not what a DOC is. So what do you think then? What do you think of the quiz?
It's not what I'd say personally to ask for another drink. I think it'd be bordering on rude almost to say dá-me outro copo.
Well, like, is it a bit aggressive?
I'd add a se faz favor or por favor to the end. But that's just me being me.
Please don't say that anybody then. Okay, 1908. Slow to change, but more recent. What's this? Unfortunately, they now have Rosé Port as well. No, that sounds sacrilegious. Rosé Port. Okay, let's go through these questions. Well, let's give the answers to the questions we've asked this evening. Thank you for joining us. Much appreciated for this bit of fun. Ordinarily, the Your Home in Portugal show that Ben and I do together. Are we doing one more before Christmas, Ben?
I think we can try to squeeze one more in before Christmas, definitely.
Okay. And then it's going to be an amazing year. What do you predict for real estate in 2026?
I foresee a good future in Portugal here. There's a lot of development going on, a lot of houses being built, licensing is going to get easier, reforms in the tax code seem to be positive thus far. So I predict good things for the market.
Oh. Here's to that. So, chin chin. Okay, yeah, port was, of course, the right answer. The fortified wine aged in the caves of Villanova de Gaia is Portugal's most famous wine export. Of course, I don't think there'll be any controversy there. Question 2, thank you for helping me with my typos as well this evening. Got to be the Douro Valley, isn't it? If it's a northern river, you quite rightly said Tagus is Lisbon, Mondego is Coimbra. Question 3, yeah, 250 grape varieties. That's awesome. Some say 300. Portugal very proud of its indigenous grapes, right? We don't tend to use the international ones, except like to chuck a Chardonnay in there or something. I think maybe just to entertain and amuse Portuguese people with a little bit of difference, possibly.
Just something a bit different. I've had a few Sauvignon Blancs here as well.
Is that on the rise?
I'm not sure if I could say it's on the rise or not. It's still few and far between in bottles of Sauvignon Blanc that are made in Portugal that I've come across in recent years. But I have to admit, I am quite fond of them.
Okay, yep, fair enough. And I noticed Intermarché, we had so many good things to say about Intermarché at the last wine club. They also have half a dozen well-priced French bottles of wine in there now as well. It's quite the store to go to. Great in so many ways.
Are Intermarché French? They're French in
They
origin,
are.
aren't they?
That'll be it, won't it? That will be it. Of course. Yes. I think. Did you say Espumante on this? Or did you say?
Sorry, let me read this again. Northwest of Portugal would be the Vinho Verde region. I assume that's what we're talking about if we're speaking of northwest of Portugal. But you could be forgiven for thinking Espumante because it's kind of an umbrella term.
Yeah, okay. Actually, we will go as an official answer here for Vinho Verde. So well done. B is the correct answer on that. Question 5. Gotta be the Touriga Nacional, isn't it? The famous and most known grape here. Touriga Franca, similar. Could you tell those two apart, do you think, in a taste test?
Ooh, I have to find out on the 13th.
Yeah. It's a promise. Get back to me on that. The Tempranillo in Spain is known as the Aragonés over here, Ben. So you didn't get that one right. You went for Amarillo there, didn't you? But you did really well, I've got to say, generally speaking. So Aragonés is the name of Tempranillo, which most people are more familiar with when they arrive in Portugal than the Aragonés, but they soon learn it's the same thing. You're spot on with this. The foot treading method is referred to as lagares. Of course, lagares.
I was kind of hoping it was concave. That would have been funny.
Wouldn't it? But it's not the footomatic either. And tell us, Ben, what are toes known as here in Portugal in Portuguese?
The fingers of the feet. So, dedos dos pés.
Isn't that a fantastic dedos dos pés? I love that. The foot fingers. Absolutely beautiful. So wine trodden with the foot fingers there. This one, Albarino in Spain. You are spot on with this. Not San Martino, not Martino, but Alvarinho, of course.
Of course. It could only be that one.
This one you're a bit off, mate. It's Arabada. All of these places are sandy, the Arabada National Park, Comporta, but it was Claras. And I would like to try that, to get a sense of the saltiness from a sand dune vine is quite an exciting night out.
Hopefully, if we get this video to blow up, maybe we'll get some free wine tastings. Who knows?
Maybe. This is a gateway to all sorts of possibilities tonight.
That's why we're here.
It is, by the way. Yes, 913-590-303 or carl@carlmunson.com. All true port wine must come from the Douro Valley, as the Marquis intended, of course, for its DOC. And you're right to say this with aguardent as well, and occasionally sugar. You're saying as well.
I was saying that, but I did read in the comments section. I think it was Michael pointed out that I was incorrect on that.
Okay, we'll have a bit of controversy. A lot of Portuguese people were rowing with each other when I was doing the quiz on Saturday night. It's a very Portuguese thing, isn't it? It doesn't matter really what the answer is. It does, but getting there is a lot of fun for Portuguese people, isn't it? And they're not afraid to say they disagree with each other.
It's a sense of national pride, isn't it? It's something to be incredibly proud about. 250 grape varieties.
Yes, that's right, and a big argument over the best of them as well. So LBV, you knew that one as well, didn't you?
Yeah. What is it? Late bottled vintage.
Late bottled vintage, spot on. Well done. Question 12. Adega, you are also right. The cooperative is known as the Adega, not the Herdade or the Quinta, although you could be forgiven for thinking so because they are, of course, words for farm or homestead or winery and sort of used interchangeably. But Adega was the right answer that we were looking for there. 13. Monty Python was the not the famous British wine merchant there. Lights are moving around now because I think the kitten and Jimmy are fighting. We may have to go soon. 14. Which style of port is aged for decades in wooden casks? Mate, it was Tawny.
It was Tawny. You see, the giveaway should have been with wood there because I don't think you would have put a white in a wood cask, would you?
Nope. That's right. That hadn't occurred to me, but I think you're absolutely right with that. So Tawny can go straight out of the bottle, no problem. Still get a hangover probably. And you knew
You
this.
drink enough of anything, you get a hangover.
That's true. That's true. It is the case with port, though, isn't it?
You're not drinking properly if you don't have one.
I can't. I just can't. Right. Sweet fortified wine called Moscatel. Which region is that from?
That would be Stubal.
Well done, mate. And Marcus Pombal then. His first DOC. Did you go for Douro? You did, didn't you? Because you were
yes.
talking about this. Yes.
I was talking about this, but I was about 100 years off with because we talked about it in a later question, then came back here, and I was about 100 years off.
I still think that's very
when it was.
respectable. I think it's very respectable, your grasp of history.
Right.
And I love how the Portuguese are very proud of their history, and obviously it's taught rigorously in school. And the trick question kind of there was Lisboa. It could have been Lisboa because after the earthquake, he could have rebuilt the city and then said, we're having a DOC on top of all of that. But no, it was for the Douro in his later contribution to Portuguese culture. The right answers here for the black clay pitchers, amphoras are more terracotta, aren't they, normally? You could have Pinguça or Cantarino for a black clay pitcher. I've never had wine delivered to me. Young red wine in a black clay pitcher. Have you ever had that?
I have not I've had it in a clay pitcher before, but not a black clay pitcher. It's quite common when you do like medieval festivals. It's a bit thematic for all the taverns to be serving drinks in clay pitchers and things like that.
Yes, very good. What, the medieval equivalent of a wine box? You're really not sure how much you've had.
Exactly. It's a good way of losing track and being able to relax a bit more.
And then I guess, have you done one of those scenes where you're reenacting and someone cracks one of those over the head of another one in a play fight and it all kicks off in a medieval bar?
We haven't done we didn't do anything like that, although I would have loved to do something like that. I did have the stuff we did, majority of the stuff I did wasn't really reversed. It was kind of like, we learn historical techniques in the school and it's go hit that guy with a sword and try not to hurt yourself. And you've got objectively, I wasn't very good at.
No, you weren't. Broken tooth, gash above the eye. When are you next in action? When can people come and see you doing that?
I'm not entirely sure. If I'm being completely honest, I haven't been keeping up with the training very much either. So I'm not sure it will be something I continue. But the last one I did was Algebarotta of this year.
Oh, Algebarotta, yes. That's ruined a meme for me. I'll forget about that for the time being. We'll come back to those on the morning show. The Algebarotta memes continue. Question 18. It would be the Barco Rabello, actually, not the Barco Dos, which sounds like Pingo Dos, or the Rabello de Sousa, which is a play on the president's name. But yeah, the Barco Rabello was the flat-bottomed boats used on the Douro River for transporting the port. And 19, you were absolutely spot on here with your process of elimination. 1908 was when Vinho Verde got its demarcation. So well done on that, mate. And the last one, not God, thank you for this drink, or give me another one, but Denominación de Origen Controlada.
I think we should have a campaign to change it. It's too long. Too many long words. Just give me another cup.
It's a bit up itself, isn't it? Deus obrigado Copa would be so much better, but not the rude, give me another drink. I don't think we should be behaving like that.
We could have like a faz favor at the end, or por favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make it a bit softer, make it a bit nicer, a bit more pleasant.
Very good. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here and going through these with me. The sweetness is based on when they stop the fermentation and not sugar. Thank you, Michael, for your company tonight, and Gemini. I can't remember which bit of the show you're referring to or which wine would sound nice there, but thank you for being with us. And Pete as well. Vinho Verde didn't get a DOP until 1984. Ooh, there's the sort of controversy I'm talking about.
There's a difference between. Did you say it was a DOP or a DOC? Because they're two different things.
Correct. They are, aren't they? What's the difference, Ben?
Denominação so protected region, denominação de origem protegida, denominação de origem controlada. As I remember, I think the DOP adheres to stricter regulations.
And they're EU imposed. So Pete is absolutely right, probably on that. The EU came in and awarded the DOP in 84. DOC in 1908, awarded by the Portuguese government, presumably. Very good. Excellent stuff. Thank you for taking part. If you want to revisit that, do that over at the Portugal Club. And just enough time to quickly assess our wines. How's that Stubalian Branco going down for you?
It's evolved quite nicely. Oddly enough, controversially to most wines, as it's warmed up, I've begun to enjoy it a bit more. It's not as... For me, Stubal wine's always a bit of a hit or miss because they're either too syrupy and a bit too sweet and too impactful for my taste. But
Yes.
this one seems to be fairly well balanced. I mean, on the nose, it's a bit fruity. I'm getting stone fruit off of it, which I'm quite fond of when I have a white. It's not too syrupy. All in all, good wine. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd probably give it about 8.5 seems a bit low. So I'm going to say something like an 8.8, not quite a 9, because 9 seems too close to the perfect white wine for me. And this
Very
is not
good.
that.
Okay, very good. And that's an Ermelinda Bocage, did you call it?
Bocage, yes. Bocage by Ermelinda.
Okay, and this Lot 5 badged up as Spartan FX is Merry Christmas wine. Also very good. An absolute flavour sensation explosion, this 23 harvest. Very nice, very delicious. And I shall continue drinking it after the show.
We've got a star appearance from Jimmy.
Jimmy's here as well now. Do you like the top notes of wine? No, not not really. Nice diversion, guys. Have a lovely night all. Thank you for being here. Take care and bye for now. Cheers. Give yourselves a nice round of applause. You've been very, very good.